ये क्या कर रही हो?
Hello, guys. Am I audible? Can somebody please let me know if I'm audible? Okay. Uh, Please let your friends know that the session has already started. So we'll wait for them for the couple of minutes. So kindly let your friends know about the session and ask them to join ASAP.
हाँ तो आई रू
Hi, guys. I think we've already waited for almost 5 to 7 minutes now. So without any delay, let's start the session. Are you all up for it? Good evening, everyone. Are you guys facing difficulties to unmute, or it doesn't give you an option to unmute? Is it so? Please let me know if there is anything like that. Okay, good evening. But I can just see your greetings in the chat box. I'm glad about it, but I would like to hear your voices. Come on, guys. Let's keep this session interactive. It's okay even if there is some background noise. I know some of you would be at home and not in a very personal space. So it's okay. Just unmute yourself and you can talk for a minute or two. Guys, Dhirav, Yuktesh, Amrita, Minakshi. Okay, first tell me one thing. You guys are all from Joseph's, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Though I'm not from Joseph's or from Bangalore, I still have heard a lot about that college. And it's known for the enthusiasm and energy that it holds, right? I hope you guys will reflect some of the energy and enthusiasm the college holds. Make some noise, at least say good evening, guys. Good evening. Is my voice so scary, or you feel, I don't know what's the reason? Why is that you people are not opening up? Because this is not going to be a regular lecture. Obviously, you all know that this is a program or platform where you're going to learn about soft skills and communication. And I can't help without interacting with you.
All the other days we communicated through messages now. So
What happened? I'm sorry, I didn't get you.
all these days we used to solve numericals, right? So it was all on text. We weren't as such communicating this way. So yeah.
Okay, you were not used to this interactive sessions earlier. That's what you mean, right?
Yeah.
No problem, because the syllabus or the maybe the syllabus that was given to the previous sessions and previous class would be different, but this holds something different. Okay, so all that I want from you is interaction. I hope you make me feel better by interacting, or else it would first of all, this is virtual and it would become very plain, right? Okay, to start with, I am Clara, the one who is going to bore you. I'm repeating it, the one who is going to bore you for the next 3 days. Okay. I have 3 rules before starting up the session. The first thing is, I want you to answer a couple of my questions. First of all, did you have class today? You were at college?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So which means you'd be already tired, right? And the second thing, the first rule that I have, if I have to take up the session, is that you guys should sit back aram se with a cup of coffee or a cup of milk or anything that you love to drink. Relax and just listen and speak. Okay, listen and speak or respond. The first rule, I don't want you to be very attentive, stick your heads to the laptop or desktop or computer, whatever it is. I don't want you to sit like that. Relax yourself. It's okay even if you lie down, but your ears should be attentive. Okay, the first rule. And the second rule, I am basically an aeronautical engineer and I do another job, just like how you've completed your day with your college. Today, I had my aero related job. I just logged out at 5. But I have chosen this path of training because I'm very passionate about meeting people, meeting new students or employees or anybody for that matter. So the main reason that I've chose this as my passion is because I love interacting with people. So without interaction, this session is not going to work. So I need your interaction. The second rule, first, relax, lie down, grab a cup of coffee, Lay's, chips, or anything you want to eat, but listen. Second one, respond. Okay. And third one, if there is anything that you want me to say, for example, this session will go up till 8:30, as you all know, right? But in between, you need some break or you feel like it's going above head. You can just tell me, Clara, can you please give us break for a minute or two? Okay, it's okay. You can just raise your hand or you can unmute yourself and tell me, Clara, please stop. We need break for 5 to maximum 10 minutes. Okay, got it? These are the 3 rules. If you say okay for these rules, I'm going to continue the session.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Good. I could hear only 2 voices. What about others? Should I take it as a no?
You can go ahead.
Okay. So in today's session, you're going to learn the basic concept about the campus to corporate FX. Okay, so now you're all in second year, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what are the things, what are the changes that you would face when you move from a student phase to a professional phase? So that's what you're going to understand. Okay, the basic understanding of from campus to corporate life. So basically, a student's life in the college, that is your behavior, your attire, your attitude, your mannerism, and communication style, is quite different from that of a professional working in the corporate field. You might have noticed your cousins or your own siblings or your papa, mama, whoever is in the corporate, right? The way they behave, the way they dress up, or the way they communicate would be a bit different from what you do at college. So when it is time for a student to make a transition from the college to the corporate world, it's a huge change for him or her. So it's important that a student should prepare himself or herself well for this transition so that the change happens very smooth and efficient. Okay. So let's learn about the various aspects involved in the transition from a student to a professional life. First thing, you would have always heard your parents telling that, beta, just complete your 10th standard with flying colors. Trust me, you get into college, it's going to be amazing. Right? And then once you step into college, your principal or your HOD, they would have definitely told you, complete, focus, be determined about whatever you're doing here at college. Once you complete college and step out of the college, you will be settled. You have nothing to worry about. Things are going to be very fine and smooth. You'll start enjoying your life. Have you heard this?
Yeah, before every board exam.
Right? Yeah. So they would say 10th is a turning point, and then your +2 or second PUC is a turning point, and then comes your degree. Once you complete all of this, your life is settled. So first of all, once you completed 10th, that is the major turning point of your life. Did anything change? Anybody who says, yes, ma'am, my life has changed post 10th. Anybody? You can tell me if it is a no as well. I'm sorry. Yes, Dharini.
Only because of COVID.
Right. Oh, are you guys COVID batch +1 and +2 students?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So then you completed your +2 and you thought, okay, I'm stepping into college and things would be very different. I'm going to have fun. It's going to be really nice. But things didn't change. You're still attached or committed to one or other responsibilities. Likewise, there is no such thing called as turning point in the entire phase of life. Every phase of life will have a reality shock because it's all transitions, right? Transition. So what should we do to avoid this type of reality shock, especially when you are transitioning from a student into a professional life? It is the inconsistency that a student will face between the academic world and the corporate world. This usually occurs in fresh graduates who will enter their first job and they discover a work environment toward which they worked for several years and suddenly realize that they're not prepared at all. You'll be thinking, okay, I've learned a lot of things at my college, from my parents, from my surroundings. But you'd be surprised to know that all of these things which you learned is still not made you ready for that corporate world. That's how it is going to be. And I'm pretty sure you're smart enough to guess that prior completing your graduation, right? Okay, I want to hear it from Meenakshi, Harsh, Sharanya, and Nihal.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I'm
ma'am.
able to hear you. Did you actually hear me all this time?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I trust you. Got it. So I was telling you about the reality shock. So in reality shock, there are various phases, okay? First phase is called as honeymoon phase, okay? So this is not the honeymoon which you are thinking. It's a totally different one. So the first phase is called as honeymoon phase. And the second one is shock or rejection phase and recovery phase or resolution phase. There are totally 4 phases. So first thing, when I talk about honeymoon phase, okay, this would be like the moment you complete your graduation. Let's say you got into a job through campus. Everything in the work world is just as the new graduate imagined, okay? It would be just as you imagined. The infrastructure, the company, the friends, the new team, everything. And this phase most often occurs during the orientation period only during the orientation period. So this is the only phase when your company says you're in honeymoon phase, have good time, okay? You should be very glad and you make sure you utilize the complete time of your honeymoon phase because things are not going to be same anymore post honeymoon phase, okay? The first phase is honeymoon phase. Give me a minute, I have a chat. Okay. The second phase is rejection phase. So what is rejection, first of all? Please come up with examples for rejection, like any rejections that you have faced in your life. All of us would have definitely faced some rejections, right? Abraham? Diksha? Okay, Abraham says he's not able to unmute. Let me give a try. Okay, I think he left the meet. No problem. Amrita?
Ma'am, your voice is cracking because of my internet connection. Could you please repeat, like, you don't mind?
Sure. I was talking about the second phase of campus to corporate life. So which is again called as rejection or shock phase. So can you please tell me about rejections or any rejection that you have faced in your life?
Okay, so when I was applying to colleges, I got rejected from a college that I really wanted to go to. I would say that really shocked me because before that, I didn't really experience anything of that sort. So, yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Can relate to that because I was rejected from my college. I mean, I got back to the same college after a year. That's a different thing, but I waited for a year to get admission in that college. So can relate to you, Amrita. Thank you.
Yeah.
How about you, Chirag? Chirag? Are you able to unmute yourself now, Abraham? Abraham? Okay. I think it's got some network issue. How about Mahesh? Okay, let's hear from Dhirav. Dhirav? Guys, I'm audible, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Nihal, you can talk about the rejection that you have faced.
Ma'am, same scenario, ma'am, about college life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wanted to join SGPUC.
Okay.
So I was not able to get in due to some reason. I don't know.
Okay.
And later on, I got into it. I got to know what life is when they don't take you for one bad quality. Let it be in terms of marks or something else.
Right, right.
But later on, I got into the college.
Okay. Nice. I'm so glad that you got into the college that you wanted.
Yeah, ma'am.
And as you said, yeah, one little thing could bring us down.
Yeah, ma'am.
Right. Okay. And guys, can you, I don't know, just because we have not turned on the cam, we are not able to see each other's faces, okay? And now I'm definitely not going to ask you to turn on the camera, do not worry, because I know how we all sit at home. So that's not what I wanted to say, but now you could hear what Nihal said. And I think you could also hear the words that I spoke. and the emotions would definitely be projected through our voices, right? So it is really nice when you people interact. Thank you so much, Nihal. And also, I think before Nihal, Meenakshi spoke, right?
No, ma'am, I think it was Amrita.
Amrita, right? Yeah. Yeah. So it was really nice that the both of them interacted. So in the next phase, I would request somebody else. Maybe we'll go with Meenakshi the next time. Okay.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay. So now coming to the second phase that I was talking about, it's called a shock or rejection phase. So when a new employee is done with the honeymoon phase, where he is taken for a round trip into the building or into the corporate firm that he has been appointed in. So it would be all cool. He would enjoy the kitchenettes, he would grab some cup of coffee, tea, have some good time with his colleagues in rec rooms, playing and all that, right? Once it is done, once you're positioned in a particular task, okay, once you're done with the bench period, this is where the rejection phase starts. There will be conflicting viewpoints between you and your colleague or your manager or your team lead because of the different ways of performing skills. Though we are all from the same college or from the same class or from the same course, are you all same with your skills as well? Definitely not. Each one is unique, and each person's performance would definitely differ. So the different ways of performing skills will create conflicts. And there will also be lack of security of an expert available as a resource, because the new employee usually will feel frightened or may react by forming a cold or hard shell. And people who do not want to open up because of that fear would always cover themselves with a hard shell and will never come out of the shell, or will always be restrained, right? So that's the shock period. So what happens here is there would be inappropriate approaches while dealing with the shock phases. First thing, native. What do you understand by the word native? What is the meaning of this word? Native. You don't have to be right. Just give me the meaning of native. That's it. Come on, guys. Vishnu? Yes, Yuktesh.
Ma'am, the place from where we are or where we are connected in history.
Okay, good. So native is actually, Yuktesh is right. So every person would be connected to a particular region. And you all know that we are influenced by the atmosphere and the surrounding, right? From the place we come from, or the family that raised us, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So when dealing with the shock phase, every individual will have their native impact in them. Some of the employees would adopt ways of least resistance and mimics other than when compared to other employees, because they would be from a background where people do not have higher resistance, where they put themselves down. It could be in such way, right? It is not real. It would never be in reality. The person would be more confident and it definitely more knowledgeable than the other person. But because of the impact that he had from his surroundings or from his family or from his native, he would take such an approach, which is very inappropriate, right? That would be an inappropriate approach. And the second thing is run away. When a new employee finds the real world too difficult, I have seen n number of people. Actually, when we give counselings and when we talk to employees in firms, because I told you that I go across traveling, training students as well as employees and professionals, right? So I've seen a lot of people who leave their profession because they think the world is too difficult for them to handle. So those type of people or those type of dealings are called as runaway. Okay. And then rutter. Rutter is nothing but a new employee who considers his job unimportant. He thinks it's not very important. I don't want to do that because this is not something which I really want. Or you could be more burned out, like you bottle up some conflict and you get into depression or anger. So that's when you burn out. Or there are also situations where you will not be able to deal with the shock and you become a loner. Usually, there are some employees who would adopt the attitude to just do the job and keep your mouth shut. Have you seen people like them? They'll just do their job and keep their mouth shut, even if things are going wrong around them. Have you seen people like them?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Why? Because they do not want to deal with anything that had to change, that had to be changed, because they think they have to be alone. They have to be, their attitude is just to do their job, and it's okay even if the entire thing is being rude. They will just keep their mouth shut, which is again not a right way to deal. And the last one is there will be a block within their mind. The employee will keep changing jobs frequently because of this block, and will always be called as new employee forever because they keep changing the job, not their mindset, right? They never want to change their mindset. Instead, they want to keep changing their jobs, thinking that things would change in the next company, and they will be forever called a new employee. Okay, so these are the different types of inappropriate approaches which we should avoid. And how to avoid these things and come out of it, that phase is called as recovery phase. What happens is a good employee or a person who has better understanding about themselves would begin to understand the new culture, right? You might have done your schooling from, how many of you are from a government school background? Anybody? Or from a school which is not really up to the standard? Anybody? Anybody? To start with, I am from one such. So I basically come from a government school background. Anybody? Chuck government school, at least from a school which didn't have high standards like St. Joseph's. Nobody from the crowd? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am.
No. Is it?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So what happens is when you come from such background and you move on to the next phase, if you had ever faced such things, you might have understood, like you have to understand the new culture. When you come to a new place, when you come to a new atmosphere, a person with better understanding would always try to adapt themselves to a new culture, and will experience those people who think in that sort or in that way would experience less anxiety, and the healing begins within themselves. And they end up into a phase called resolution phase, where they adjust to the new environment and work expectations, which will be easily met, and the employee would develop the ability to elicit changes. So this is how they overcome the reality shocks. So now, guys, I'm going to tell you certain characteristics of a professional. You just have to tell me. You're all from the same classroom, right? At college?
No, ma'am. They're from different
From different
courses.
sections, is it? Okay.
Hardly one or two, ma'am, from same class.
Okay. But you're all from St. Joseph's or different college?
St. Joseph's.
Okay. What about others? Everybody from St. Joseph's.
Oh, yes.
Okay, cool. So now I'm going to tell you certain, list some characteristics. Okay. Just think of the characteristics and let's see how many of you relate to it. Okay. First thing is having a good image. When I say having a good image, it is nothing but the way you present your physical self to others. For example, the way you portray your confidence or the positive attitude that you carry. Okay. So the key aspects of this having a good image is nothing but clothing. First of all, you're wearing clean and well-ironed formal or semi-formal clothes, or wearing clothes which are appropriate to the occasion, and coordinating it with the proper footwear and keeping your accessories minimal, and your hair and nail clean and trimmed, and everything else from the head to toe should be appropriate for the environment. Having a good image. How many of you think you have good image? Raise your hands, at least, if you don't want to, unmute. Okay, Nihal. Only one from the crowd has a good image? Okay, Tarini, Mark, Yuktesh, Mahesh. Okay. Guys, others, wake up. It is still 6:30. Wake up. Good morning, guys. Okay. So the next characteristic is having a good attitude. Nothing but a person who is very friendly with all the others around, or who'd always think about having a win-win approach instead of pulling somebody else down. That's what I mean when I say having a good attitude, right? But when it comes to a professional life, having a good attitude is nothing but respecting your seniors, respecting your supervisors, and being very friendly with all the colleagues, and working hard, but also working smart. So this is certain key aspects of having a good attitude at your workplace. And the third thing, taking ownership and responsibility, which means meeting the deadlines on time and completing your work efficiently. And sometimes we all know that none of us are born with the right, complete package of knowledge, right? We all go wrong. So when we go wrong, the person who loved to take responsibility would also take responsibility for the faults that he or she makes. So accepting your faults and be open to learning and be open to take more responsibilities. That's what I mean when you're a person who takes ownership. And then being very prompt and orderly, that is keeping your office space clean and hygienic, responding to the meeting requests, emails and calls, and respecting others as well as your time. So what happens at college is, for example, you don't complete one of your assignment, you would say, ma'am, I'm sorry, I didn't have enough time, I didn't complete, please wait, I will definitely submit it in a day or two. And your teacher would definitely say, okay, take your time, right? They might at least give you an extension. Yes or no?
Not always, ma'am.
Okay, not always. That's true, very true. But at least they would try to give, some of them at least.
Depends on situation.
Right, yeah. So, but this doesn't happen at your workplace, because your lecturers, teachers would be kind and generous enough to at least help you at the, when it comes to some peak moments where you don't have any other option and you are going to attend your semester exams and there was a delay, they would scold you, they still accept the assignment. Even if they don't give you 10 on 10, they would at least try to give you 5 on 10, right? But this thing will not happen at office. Whenever there is a meeting request or emails, you have to respond to it by end of the day, how much ever busy you are. Because respecting others' time as well as yours is the main essential thing that you should learn. to organize the task or the event, or to manage your entire work in a very calm and orderly way. And then using proper speech when it comes to college, when it comes to your friends, I'm pretty sure, I don't mean that you would be offensive or you would use some abusive language, but definitely it would be more easier to talk to your friend than to talk to your colleague. You will understand this in your next phase of life. But here, when it comes to professional life, you should avoid any sort of offensive or abusive words, even if it is for fun. You cannot pick such words. So you should avoid informal abbreviations or language, or avoid sensitive and racist comments. There is no topic about religion, about regions, about places, or about anything of that sort. Why? Because we have to respect others and also be very courteous, right? So that's the fifth quality, that is using proper speech. And sixth one is following office etiquettes, rules, and policies. Each company that you choose to work for would have different policies, but the base rule or the base etiquette of any company is to always hold a smile on your face. Always, whenever you enter your work every single day, they would expect you, not at least, if not your colleagues, at least your managers or your team lead, they would definitely appreciate and also expect you to step into the firm or step into the bay of your work with a smile and not a grin on your face. So smile and greet others. And when it comes to some work to be done, you have to follow the proper queue system. And whatever happens, even if you have a very bad connect with one of the colleague, you're not supposed to fight in your work floor. Keep all things out of the building. You are not supposed to speak loud, and rise up. And you should always rise up when a senior comes to your desk. And you should understand the company policies and procedures and follow them at all times. And most importantly, being very respectful to women and vice versa. Okay. And the seventh characteristic is being very honest and sticking on to integrity. First of all, what is integrity? Neenakshi, what is integrity?
Having morals, good morals,
Okay, good,
and also being truthful.
right? Ria, please correct me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I meant,
Ma'am, can you hear me?
yes, yes.
Ma'am, being honest and truthful and doing your work sincerely.
Okay. Dhruv? Dhruv? Bobby?
It's Ashley.
Ashley? Thank you. Yeah. What's integrity?
Ma'am, in what like context are you asking?
Like the basic meaning of integrity.
Um, I'm of like a strong personality, someone who is very committed, kind of. Is that
Someone who's very
a strong personality? Someone who is like very ideal, kind of, like who's very dedicated and
okay.
to have that quality.
Okay, good. Yeah. Thank you, Ray, Meenakshi, and Ashley, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So, yes, having integrity is nothing but being honest and true, as you all said, you were right. But there is one thing that makes integrity more special. For example, I love eating chocolates and I eat chocolate and I just throw the paper in the classroom. Okay. Or anywhere, wherever I go, I just eat and put the paper down. But when people are looking at me, I don't do that. I usually keep the paper in my hand or the wrapper in my hand and I put it into the bin. But I do that only when people are watching. If there's nobody to watch, I straight away throw it. Is that being honest or being or sticking up for true integrity?
No, ma'am.
No, right? It is more like I behaving like an hypocrite, isn't it? I know it is not a big deal, but it definitely makes a difference. So being honest and true to yourself is much appropriate, or is when I say integrity, being honest and true to yourself is what I mean. So you should not misuse your office resources or steal it, or do not participate in any dealings which would compromise your honesty and integrity, and report any issues that are questionable. And you should not indulge yourself in any malicious actions that can risk your company or your own creditability, right? That's what I mean when I say being honest. And the eighth characteristic is being a good communicator. It's nothing but following a set of etiquettes for your verbal communication. It could be a mail, telephone, or meeting. And you should also be aware of your non-verbal communication, that is your body language, right? The way you portray your body, that also would mean a lot. Though you do not open up, or though you do not tell or put out words from your mouth, your non-verbal communication would also mean a lot. So you should be very cautious about it. And also, being an active listener makes you a good communicator. So, guys, tell me, what is the difference between I heard or I listened to it? What's the difference between hearing and listening? What's the difference between hearing and listening? Or is it the same?
Ma'am, I guess you hear to reply and listen to understand.
Wow, that was really nice. Thank you, Mark. I think I I definitely wouldn't have expected anything more than this. You're right, absolutely right. So we always hear to people and listen to understand, right? So the major difference is, I would say, I heard the birds chirping. I could hear a dog bark. But if I have to understand something, or like Afif, as I think he's just put, he or she, is it she or he? Hafif? So Afif. So he has just put a message on the chat box telling listening from others' point of view. So Afif is also right about it. So when you want to listen, you would put yourself in their shoes, but you would not do the same when you want to hear, right? So listening is very important to be a great communicator, because not everybody are good listeners, and a person who is not a good listener cannot be a good communicator. Okay, I think that makes sense, right? If you are not a good listener, you would never understand what the other person wants from you, And there are chances, high chances, that you would miss out on important things which could lead to bad endings. We all need people who listen to us, right? It could be friend, it could be it could be a parents, or it could be a teacher. We need people who listen to us, and when we have them around us, we feel good. Likewise, when it comes to work, if you're a good listener and your manager or your team lead appoints you with some or gives you some task, if you're a good listener, you would definitely understand your task and deliver the right results. But if you don't listen and if you just hear, there are high chances that you make mistakes in your deliverables, and it could also lead to a state where you would be pushed to lose your job because of little things like this. Okay, this was the 8th importance characteristics. So when it comes to communication, I told it is very important because it is all about how your information is being sent and received within the firms, because you know that there would be various levels of uh, levels of people at work, right? L1, L2, L3, L4. It could be vertical or horizontal. There are various levels. So every information would be shared, which should be sent and received, should be right. And it should also be heard right. So it's crucial for a working success, which is crucial for you to work successfully with others, only to enable and maintain your relationship and to accomplish your task while working with both individuals and also in group. And it will, if you're a good communicator, it will definitely help you to overcome the obstacles, and it will create a more comfortable and trustful or a safe feeling at your workplace. Any doubts, or am I going fast, or is it boring? Guys, am I going fast?
No, ma'am, it's perfect.
Okay, so let's just I think we need a break. I don't know why you people didn't ask me for a break, but I think we just have a small activity. Okay. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You all know this activity called as one word game, right? Or one sentence game, or one line story. Do you know one line story?
As in build a story with just a word.
I'm sorry, Darini, can you please come again?
As in someone gives a word and you have to form a story around that.
Yeah. Will let's keep this activity a bit spontaneous. Okay. I want somebody to start the story, and you have to stop your story in a line. And the next person who picks or who continues to tell the story will connect it from there, and they'll stop it in a line, in a sentence. So we all connect all our imaginations together and form a story. Did you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Who wants to start? Any brave volunteer? I heard there were too many brave volunteers from Joseph's, but I can still see their names on the screen, but I'm not able to hear their voice. Who wants to start?
I can start.
Yeah.
Do I start or should I
Yes,
say
yes, dear, yes.
okay. I was just about to pack my bags and leave to Goa just then.
Guys, did you all hear Dharini? Or you want her to repeat? Guys, did you hear Dharini? Nihal?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Can you continue the story line?
From start, ma'am.
No, no, no. Dharini, please tell the sentence again and Nihal will continue.
Okay, so my sentence is I just packed my bags and was headed to Goa just then.
Okay,
I
I just
received a. Yeah, ma'am. Continue, ma'am.
no. I just was about to repeat the same because I felt
Mm,
Dharini was little. Or it's my speaker.
No,
I
no,
don't know.
ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I received a phone call which was unexpected.
Yuktesh?
Mom, the phone call lasted for 8 hours.
Meenakshi?
And it was a Spotify advertisement, which I wasn't able to cut.
Okay. Afif? Afif? Mark? Mark?
Ma'am, finally my phone battery died, and that's all, ma'am.
Okay. Dhruv? Now the phone battery is dead. What next?
So I went to find a charger, ma'am.
Okay. Noah?
My phone is charged.
Yashas? Yashas? Chirag?
Ma'am, Nihal calls Yuktesh after the phone is charged.
Okay. See, guys, you can take this story to any level that it add up some humor, fun, and also suspense, thriller, horror, anything that you would like to. So now Nihal calls Yuktesh, right? Or Yuktesh calls Nihal.
And they plan a trip to Goa, ma'am.
Okay,
And
they plan it.
they actually reach the airport and they're about to enter the flight when.
Okay, they actually reached the airport and they were about to get in the flight when?
The flight got delayed and it was about to get cancelled.
Okay. Mahesh?
And it got cancelled and they took a train to Goa.
It got cancelled and?
They took a train to Goa.
Okay, they boarded train to Goa. Next, Sharanya. Sharanya? Abraham? please don't tell me that you're not able to speak.
Ma'am, can I say?
Yeah, yes, sure, no problem.
Unfortunately, there were no tickets available, and the plan was about to get cancelled.
Ma'am, could I continue?
Yes, sure.
Yuktesh blocked Nihal after that.
Yuktesh, what do you have to say about this?
Hey, they literally went to the airport. How can you block him?
Sorry, block the contact. I mean, block the contact number. That's what I meant.
Okay.
But in this case, it was vice versa. I didn't want it to go with him.
Okay, Surya?
The story ends tragically of them never being able to taste booze in Goa.
Okay.
And I got a better offer to go with someone else, ma.
Okay. Okay.
Ma'am, by luck, that better someone else again turned out to be Nihal.
My budget was an international trip, not a domestic trip.
Yuktesh was taking you to space in Chandrayaan 3, bro.
Please continue it as a story. Okay,
Please,
let me
someone else
pass it
doesn't
on
know,
to
bro.
some safer hands. Safer hands, Dharini. Dharini? Okay, Meenakshi.
Save the situation.
What? Yes, Dharini.
There's nothing I can think of to save the situation.
Okay, I thought, okay, let me, Meenakshi, any hopes?
No, I really don't know what to say.
Guys, anybody else with a better ending? I mean, with a happy ending? Come on, be the light. Any happy endings? Or you can take it.
Nihal meets Yuktesh in the college finally.
Okay.
That's all, ma'am. Story ends.
They both unblock each other and live on happily.
Okay. Okay. Fine then. Yeah. Thank you. It was really nice. I don't know. You guys started with this type of session since when actually?
Last Tuesday,
Mm-hmm. What were you learning? I mean, what all did you learn?
we learned maths, basic maths.
Okay. So today is your first day with this campus to corporate and soft skills and all this, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. I'm so glad and I'm very happy that I heard almost most of your voices, though I missed some of, I think Abraham, Afif and all. I could hear a lot of your voices. I'm very glad about that. And this is how I wanted the session to be. I wanted it to be more interactive and fun. I usually prefer taking sessions and meeting people directly, but unfortunately, this had to happen virtually, and that's the worst part, both for students as well as for teachers, right? It's okay, but you still helped me a lot by being more. Thank you, guys. Do you need break or you suggest me some other icebreakers? Do you need a proper break where you say, ma'am, we need 5 to 10 minutes of break, but you are not
Ma'am,
supposed
5
to
to 10 minutes break, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Okay.
we can take a break at 7 to 7:10. That's better. We always do that.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
ma'am.
Is that fine with everybody else? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, you can do one more icebreaker.
Okay, so we'll take the break at 7. Okay. So now, I'll just tell me anybody who's already framed your resumes or at least template for your resumes. Anybody in the session?
Could you
Who I
repeat,
can-
ma'am?
Anybody in the session here who already has a template of your resume or a CV?
Ma'am, I've got a resume ready.
Ma'am, even I have got a resume ready, ma'am.
Okay, cool. So 2 of you have it, right? Okay. So basically, why are you all here? Is it mandatory attendance?
No, ma'am, to learn.
Okay, so this is from your college, right? So this is not, people who interested can register for courses, or it's mandatory for everyone?
Ma'am,
Those who are interested. Those who are interested.
Okay, got it, got it. Okay, so usually the strength would be this much, is it? Only 17 to 18?
No, ma'am, 40.
Ma'am, first day during orientation, it was like 49, 50. And
Mhm.
gradually it went down to 20, 21, 23.
Okay. Okay. So all those who had opted for maths also chose this, is it? Or it is a total different scenario?
It is no option being given. You must learn everything.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay, let's like let's as we are talking about communication, we'll just I'll randomly pick people. You can just pronounce your name and tell me your strength and your weakness. That's it. I don't want to hear anything else. Just your strength. What do you think is the best thing about yourself? And what do you think, not the worst thing, but what do you think you could improve in you? Okay, just that. We'll start with Dhruv. And also, please tell me your background. That is, you come from a BCom background or?
Ma'am, my name is Dhruv, ma'am. I'm from BCom.
Okay.
Yes. What else should I say, ma'am?
Like the best thing about you and the area of improvement.
Best thing about me would be I look for perfection in everything, ma'am, and I need to improve in math a lot. So that's a thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, there is somebody who loves to improve in maths, and that's a good thing. Because usually people who are weak in maths would always avoid learning it, or they would rather skip. I'm glad that you're trying to improve yourself in math.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dhruv. Surya?
Yes, ma'am. Hello, I'm Surya and I'm from BCom regular. And if you ask me what my strength is, I would say that I am highly hardworking and I also communicate highly efficiently. And my weakness is sometimes I tend to overthink a lot. So I have to change that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Surya. Harsh? Harsh? I usually don't like assuming things, but when when people are so quiet, I just feel that they're not right in front of their lap or they've just connected and left. Okay, ma'am, I have a problem with my mic. No problem, Harsh. Okay, try rejoining and I'll get back to you, okay? I think that might help. Okay. Meenakshi?
So I'm Meenakshi and I'm from BCom. And my strength, I think, would be that I can sing and I also love to write. And my weakness is probably that I can't say no to anyone, and I think I should learn how to say no to people.
Okay. Thank you, Meenakshi. Chirag?
So good evening, ma'am. I'm Chirag. I'm from BCom. And ma'am, my strengths might be that I am good in finance, I assume. And my weaknesses, there are many, I guess. The creativity is my weakness. I'm not very creative. So I guess, yeah, that can be one of my weaknesses.
You mean you're not that creative and that's your weakness?
I mean, ma'am, for a field like marketing or so, if I want to get into it in the future, it is a very big weakness. So yeah.
Okay, got it, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Chirag. Afif? Afif? Okay. Who is Mahesh? Mahesh? Mm-hmm. Mark?
Ma'am, I'm from BCom professional, and my strengths are I have a way with people. I can get them to listen to me, and and my weaknesses are, ma'am, I will eventually come to a solution to a problem, but I have to have that one phase of anxiety before that. So I think I waste time there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Can you just elaborate it?
Ma'am, like if I'm faced with a problem, I'll just waste like an hour or two in just getting tensed about it and on overthinking the situation a lot. And then eventually I'll get a solution. But I know I lose time in those 2 hours, which I could have done if I would have thought calmly about it.
Okay. Right. I think somebody else had a similar drawback, right? Overthinking. Cool. Noah? Noah? Okay. Abraham? Abraham? Okay. Afif and Abraham, I just saw your message. Try to rejoin. That might help. Ashley?
My name is Ashley. I'm from BCom Industry. So my strengths are that I don't, get tensed about learning new things. I'm always excited, and it's fine for me to not know things, but I'll go for it, even if it is good or like the outcome is good or not. And my weakness would be that I'm kind of introverted, like, but in a year, I think I've improved a lot, but there's a lot of work through. I don't think I've reached the place I wanted to, but yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay. Thank you, Ashley. Whom did we miss? I think Yuktesh and Dharini, right? Dharini?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is Dharini. I am pursuing BCom regular. My weakness would be I have fear of uncertainties and I procrastinate a lot. But my strength is that even though I procrastinate, my results are great. People don't even realize that I'm procrastinating because of the quality of the work I give. And another one is that I'm
Dharini, I think there's lag in your network.
okay.
Guys, are you able to hear her?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it?
What about now?
Yes, better.
Yeah, till where was I at?
About the results.
Yeah, so my strength is that even though I procrastinate, I do give good results and I'm dedicated.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Dharini. Yuktesh.
Hello, ma'am. This is Yuktesh. I'm from BCom Professional Strategic Finance. So coming to my strength is something related to leadership, and I can get any things done, which is nothing impossible. And my weakness would be overthinking and health, and I would like to work on it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Yuktesh. And did I miss anybody? Apart from Afif and Abraham and Noha, you guys said there is some network issue. And yes, Afif.
Are you able to hear?
Yes, I'm so glad that you finally spoke.
Good evening, my name is I'm actually from BCom Travel Education.
Okay, can you be a bit loud?
My name is Afif and I'm from BCom Travel Education. And my weakness is I do overthinking and have negative thoughts if I do something.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Afif. So guys, I'm glad that most of you guys opened up about your weakness, most importantly, because that's where we lack. Oh, give me a minute, it's my son. Yeah, I'm sorry about it. So I'm glad that because most of the people would not dare to speak about their weaknesses, and those who dare would definitely want to change it. So I'm pretty sure you're all strong and capable enough to build from your weaknesses, right? So coming to the overthinking part, yes, we all have that. We are all people who overthink a lot, and it has nowadays become the most important part in our mind's journey, right? And when the people, especially the ones who are very much related to psychology, knows that exploring a human mind would be more of exploring their overthinking and the thoughts which actually never happen, and which happen only in our mind, which doesn't occur in reality. So we are each gifted in a, what I would love to say right now in this situation is that we are each gifted in a unique and important way. So it's a privilege and it's our adventure to discover our own special light. And that's it. There is nothing much that we got to do, because what happens is over a period of time, the things that you really worry or things that you really think a lot about would not really happen in your uh, real life. And it just kills your happiness for time being. And the time that you have lost would never return, right? It does indeed, actually. Whatever I said, overthinking kills your happiness. That is, yes, you heard it right. It actually does, and it not just kills your happiness; it also consumes your soul. You might have already experienced that. So the one thing that you could try practicing is control over your body and control over your mind. So if you can control your mind, and there is no doubt in believing that your mind is the most powerful part of your body, right? So if you control your mind, after all this hub of thoughts would blast, or it would just vanish in a minute or two. If you think there are people in this classroom, right? There are people in this classroom who think, I want to lead a great, there's not a single person who thinks I want to lead a bad life, I want to regret, I want to live in guilt. There's nobody like that. Everybody wants to do something big. So that something big would start with yourself, with your own mind. And if you cannot control your mind, then you can never control anything that's happening around you. And it is applicable to me as well. So let's take this as a group advice. No, I don't like advice. Group, what is the better word? Because none of us like advice, right? Anybody who likes advice?
Opinion.
Opinion, yeah. This could be a group opinion for the betterment of ourselves. Right? Okay, guys, now you can take break from 7 to 7:10, but make sure you don't exit from the call, because due to network issues, it would be difficult. And again, we got to wait for people and we'll lose time. So we have many more things to learn. So stay in the call, just get away from your lap or desktop and get back by 7:10, right?
Done, ma'am.
Yeah. Hi guys, are you back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's just wait for others, Yuktesh. Maybe for a minute or two. Guys, are you back?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Jim.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I think almost everybody is back, right? Cool. Thank you. So without further delay, let's just start with a very important topic. Okay. So I hope this topic will help you in the longer run, not just by listening to it, but only if you apply. Okay. So we are going to talk about attitude. The moment I say attitude, what comes to your mind?
The
Anger.
way you behave. The way you behave.
Okay. Anybody else?
Ma'am, a personality.
Okay. Okay.
Immaturity to understand others' view.
Okay. Did you just say immaturity to understand others' view?
Ma'am, that's negative attitude, right? Like there can also be a positive attitude.
Right. Right. So yeah, the moment we say attitude, people will be like, hey, yeah, that guy has too much of attitude. Hey, this girl has too much of attitude. It's not that. Attitude has both sides, right? It has both sides. So first, let's understand what is attitude. It is nothing but a mental position relative to the way you think or believe. That's it. Simple. Your mental position to the way you think or believe. When I say attitude, it is a very little thing, but it makes a lot of difference. Okay. So whenever your choice of attitude can decide the outcome of your life. So when I say that, whenever you're in a conflict with someone, okay, there is one factor that can make the difference between damaging that relationship and deepening it, right? And that factor is called as attitude. When there is a fight between you and your friend, you can either create more conflicts and start wedging and damaging the relationship, or you can also try to understand the root cause of the fight and balance things to make it right. So that particular factor which you choose as your choice is attitude. So now we are going to learn about positive attitude. Okay. There are three main components of positive attitude or attitude, first of all, when it comes to. So the first thing is cognition. What is cognition? Any idea, guys? It's okay even if you're wrong, because you were really great. You really did a great job by answering a lot of questions which I raised. So please try to answer this.
Getting knowledge.
Okay. Anybody else? What is cognition?
Ma'am, I guess learning from your past
Okay.
past experiences.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me tell
And
you.
the way you think.
Yes, Nihal. The way you think. Okay. You're very close to the answer, actually. Okay. Cognition is nothing but your thoughts. Okay. It's nothing but your thoughts. For example, every day you just start your day, when you start trying to go to college after a break or after a vacation, you'll be like, my class or the particular class that I'm going to attend today will be very interesting. That could be a thought. Or you can also think like, oh my God, that class is so boring. I don't like the lecture, right? It could be both the ways, the way you think. Or when it comes to professional life, you can go to your work every Monday, you can get back to your work post a long weekend. Like let's say Saturday and Sunday will be the longest weekend when you get into a job. So there'll be no much leaves. So the longest weekend would be Saturday and Sunday. But when you get back to your job on Monday, your thought could be, wow, my job is interesting. I love to do my job. Or you can also think the other way. Oh, this job sucks and I have no other choice, right? That's your cognition about the job. And then affections is nothing but your feelings towards something, right? Let's say I love math, or I love this job, or I love my course. Anything, any activity that you're involving yourself in, and the feelings that you have for it, that is called affections. And the third thing is your behavior. that is your actions and reactions towards that particular scenario. For example, you would say to yourself, morning you wake up, you get ready and you're like, I'll go to work or I'll go to college early with a smile on my face, and that's what I intend to act. Or I'll be like, oh, this day is definitely going to be very bad, I know that. Okay, let me just try getting to the place, at least if not on time, I'm just going there. Yeah, that's it. So this could be your behavior. So what are the three components? Your cognition, your affection, and your behavior. These three components will completely change about everything that you think or do. Okay, any doubt, or am I going fast?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So now let's see how to form these attitudes. Okay, answer me for certain questions. Okay, are attitudes inherited?
Partially,
think
ma'am.
no.
Okay, who all say no?
Ma'am,
Raise your
it's like the way we see and adapt.
Okay, but are they inherited through genes?
Ma'am, rare cases.
Rare cases, right? Factually speaking, attitudes are not inherited, because when you see, attitudes are mainly the outward manifestation of your strong inner beliefs. Whatever you believe strongly in your mind will become your attitude. So it becomes your outward manifestation. So those are not inherited. You can definitely get impacted by the surroundings. As some of you said, yes, your surroundings might leave an impact on your attitude, but those can be something which you can neglect or ignore as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this inner values or beliefs that you strongly stick on to will become your attitude. And this will develop over time. This will not happen in a day or two. This will develop over time, because as you grow, you will watch certain significant people around you who behave in a particular way, and you're being told to cherish certain things over others, or you would learn some things from your teachers or from your parents, and you come to value certain things over other, and that will form your value system. When you're being told about all of this, definitely there will be a certain sort of significance which you keep in your mind. Now there are certain functions of attitude which could alter all of this beliefs, principles, and behaviors which you have got from your surroundings. What are those? The functions are, first thing, what happens when you have a positive attitude is adjustment. When you'll start adjusting, that doesn't mean you're going to put yourself down. When I say the word adjustment, it is nothing but you help yourself to adjust to the environment and form a basis for your future there. You become more flexible, right? That's what I mean when I say adjustment. And the second thing is you become more knowledgeable. That is, you will provide standards and frames of references which will allow yourself to understand and also perceive the world that is around you. You'll get a clear cut knowledge about what is happening around you. And the third thing that will help you is your ego defensive thing. That is, it will help you to retain your dignity and your self image without affecting anybody else. Okay, you are going to retain your dignity and your self image, but without affecting people around you. And the fourth thing is your attitude will provide you with a basis for expressing your own values. You become more value expressive than word expressive. Okay, so let's now understand what positive attitude does to you. So you can see situations like you might have seen this if you guys use Instagram or Facebook, you might have seen certain videos, right, where people show a glass of water and ask if it is what do you think? And some people say it is half full, some people say it is half empty, right? You've seen that, or at least heard or read.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, right. So what happens with this positive attitude is that you will develop a strong mind or a strong mental attitude that will admit into your mind thoughts and your words, and those thoughts and words will have a conducive growth which will lead to your success. So you can either see an opportunity, I mean, you can either see a situation as an opportunity or failure. Yes, Yuktesh. Okay, I think it was by mistake. No problem. So, for example, how many of you like summer?
Only the vacation part, ma'am.
Only the vacation part, right? Okay. So, for some people, a hot summer day would be very beautiful. For those who come from a very cold place, they would prefer a bit of sunlight when they have never experienced that sun a lot. They definitely would love sun. They would embrace sun, right? So, hot summer day may be beautiful for some people and ugly for someone. And a departmental or a class meeting could be interesting for some and could be boring for some, right? So this is what attitude alterations could do. So now let anybody who wants to give me an example of or an example or who wants to talk about a situation where your attitude actually altered the final end result. Anybody? Just say there was a scenario and your attitude actually gave good result or bad result about that. You might have experienced, right? Mark?
I'm thinking, ma'am.
Okay, anybody else? Nobody?
Ma'am, can I say?
Pardon?
Can I tell, ma'am?
Yes, Mark. Sure.
So, ma'am, actually, I'm originally from Mumbai. I shifted a year, 2 years ago.
Okay.
3 actually. And so when I came here, I came here to do because my mom's family stays here. So I didn't want to come here actually. Like obviously, who wants to leave Mumbai? And when I came here, I didn't. I came with a negative attitude. Like I used to not like anything. Anything I used to see, I used to be like, oh, Mumbai did it better.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I had to get in. I had to step in like so that I can merge with other people, mingle around. So I started to look things in a different way, and that was when I started. I started to learn. I started to learn the language. Like I can't speak that fluently, but at least I understand Kannada now. And I try to understand the culture of the people here. Their mindset and all. And now it's become pretty much better than what it was like 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's become easier. Life has become easier in Bangalore right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Mark. So you came here with a negative attitude, and definitely that was you didn't want to give up on give up your native, so you didn't want to get out of the comfort zone that your native always gave. But once you altered your attitude towards it, you can you're able to make out some difference, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody else? Dhruv? 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 Nobody else? Okay. Okay, I'll just tell you a scenario, okay? Just listen to this small story. So there were two people, Alex and James, and both of them applied for the same job. And Alex's self-esteem was very low. he was sure that he will not get the job, and he believed that other applicants were better than him. And on the day of interview, he got up late. He discovered that the shirt he had planned to wear needed ironing, and he went out wearing a shirt full of wrinkles. And during the interview also, because he had the mindset that people will be better than him, right? So even during the interview, he was so tense, like he was tense and distracted, which made it difficult for him to focus on the interviewer. And he materialized his fear, and that's how the entire day went. On the other hand, there was James, who I told you that applied, both of them applied for the same job, right? So he was sure that he would get a job. He visualized himself making a good impression and getting a good job. And in the evening, before he had to go to the interview the next day, he prepared the clothes he was going to wear, and he went to sleep a little earlier. And on the day of the interview also, he woke up early, and he had ample of enough time to eat breakfast and arrive on time to the firm or the company. So he got the job because he knew that he is capable. Or even if he didn't know, he convinced his own mind, because we know that our mind is a powerful tool, right? So he got the job and he made a good impression. On the other hand, Alex didn't get the job. So what do we learn from these two stories? Is there any magic that employed here? Any magic? No, right? Obviously, there was no magic. When the attitude is positive, we entertain pleasant feelings and constructive images within ourselves. All of you might have experienced this. When you get into the exam hall with a positive attitude, like, hey, I have completed 3 to 4 chapters or units, I think that is pretty enough for me to clear it with passing marks, or at least more than passing marks. Or some people would have studied 3 to 4 chapters and they'll be like, oh God, I can't clear it. What happens once they get into the exam hall? They forget the things because of the stress that they put into their mind, right? So when you have positive attitude, you will entertain yourself with a better feeling and better image. So this will bring more energy and happiness to you. So the whole being broadcast will give you goodwill, happiness, and success. So now you have to remember one thing. I said that if you think positively, you are going to be successful. Likewise, negative things will also affect your results. Both are contagious, right? Positive and negative, both are contagious. So why you got to choose positive attitude? That's the main question, right? Why you got to choose positive attitude? Because it will give you strength to deal with the challenges. Sometimes we become weak. All of us are not good at everything, right? We might be weak. We might have drawbacks in certain things. But when you have a positive attitude on that, it will give you strength to deal with the challenges. Though you don't have the right knowledge or right capacity or right skill, it will at least give you strength to deal with them. And it will give you self-confidence. It will give you the increased chance of success. So the person who thinks positively, or the positive thinker, will always see the invisible and feel the intangible and also achieve the impossible. So now when people say, hey, think positive, you might have heard people say, hey, think positive, yeah, be positive. It's quite common to hear people say that. Most people do not take these words seriously. Like, how many people do you know who stop to think what the power of positive thinking means? We just say, be positive, think positive, but how many of you seriously take a minute to think about the impact that power of positive thinking could give? Okay, how many of you have done? Have you ever did that? In any situation? No? Guys, are you awake? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I thought you guys slept off. Is it boring? Do you want me to change the topic? please be open, because if it is something which you're not interested in, we can definitely move on to the next. Guys, you want me to continue with the topic or change it?
Yeah, ma'am, continue.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to continue that. Now, I told you about the good things. Let me tell you about the factors that might affect your attitude. Okay. First thing is changing environment. The only person who always likes to change is whom? Do you know who likes to change always? We usually do not like to move from our comfort zone, right? There is a person who always loves to change. Who is it? Any guess? Any guess? At least say yes or no.
Is it a hypocrite?
Hypocrite. Okay, they actually choose to change. You're right. But there is a person who actually likes to change. It's been told, okay, it's been told from a very long time that the only person who always likes to change is a wet baby, right? The moment it is wet, it wants us to change the diaper or anything, whatever they have kept, right? So the only person who always likes to change is a wet baby. Why does change affect our attitude? Because what happens is when there is a change, when there is a transition let's say from your student life to your professional life, there will be definitely some changes, and you will see a big signboard in your mind like change ahead, change ahead. So what happens? This will alter the way you think. It will make life more difficult for a while, because there is certain changes which are happening in your body, in your mind, in your lifestyle, everything. So this can cause a lot of stress, and it will definitely be an ongoing fact of life, right? This could be one of the factors which will affect your attitude. And the second is past experiences. There might have been things that have happened in your past sometimes that becomes more powerful than the present. All of us might have experienced this. There might be some past traumas which will become more powerful than the present version of yourself, or the which will actually break down the better future version of yourself, right? Some of the past things which we stick on to or which we hold on to. But the good news is that you empowers past experience and its effect on your attitude. It's you. The control is in you, isn't it? The only person who could change everything and who could alter everything is you. So if the key is within you, then there is nobody else who could stop you from changing your situation. And if there is anybody who could stop, then it is only you, right? And the third thing is your determinism. That is, due to some effect of your past, you will have certain predetermined conceptions in your mind. You will include those conceptions as the future decisions, and it will totally alter the end result. Or it could be your inherited traits. Like some of you said that there would be some strong inherited traits which will also affect your attitude, right? For example, genetics. Like you would say, hey, my grandparents did this to me, so I want to do this too. I want to, I am being strongly affected, or have been strongly impacted by the act of my grandparents, so I'm going to pass on the same to the people. Or it could be your psychic upbringing, like my parents did this to me and I'm affected by this, so I'm going to do the same. Or though you don't choose, you automatically or naturally you choose to behave like that. Or it could be your environmental things, like your boss, your company, or your economy and your surroundings. Okay. So the next factor could be your other people's behavior. Like more often that, not that we are not influenced, But usually we are influenced by other people's behavior. Our attitude usually changes with the people who behave with us, right? We are not the same to everybody. Are you the same with your best friend and also the other person in the class? Definitely not. Your behavior changes with the people whom you meet and the way they behave with you, right? So there are certain behavioral traits which you should not have in order to have a positive attitude. That is, you should not be a complainer, you should not be a gossiper, you should not be a backstabber and or an exploder, or you should not keep walking wounded, because that will hurt the person who is trying to heal you, right? So these are certain qualities which you should get rid of. And now, your negative work environment also can affect your attitude. For example, everyone is fighting to get ahead of you. What happens? You're just fighting instead of building each other. There is difference in moving ahead and building each other while moving ahead, right? When you're trying to build each other and move ahead, you will feel more peaceful. But when you're trying to pull people down and move ahead, it is always more scary, and it also puts you into more stress than focusing on your goal, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So when everyone is fighting around you or no one appreciates your contributions, what happens? You do a lot of work for your friend yourself. For example, there is a friend whom you help even without them asking you. The first time they forget to thank you, it's okay. Maybe it happened so, or they got busy, or they got carried away in that happiness that you helped them. But the second time, also, they forget to thank you or appreciate you for that. At least later they forget again. And the third time. So what happens over a period of time? Would you still prefer to give that 100% contribution to the person who didn't appreciate your efforts? Will you?
No.
Definitely not, ma'am.
Definitely not, because we humans would we expect appreciation, at least for the things that we genuinely did, right? So when nobody appreciates you for your contribution, that will affect your attitude. And when there is too much of work and or too many things that bring you down, or too much of burdens, and there's nobody to help, you feel that you're alone doing things, you're alone taking up things. That also brings your attitude down. And when there are unrealistic deadlines, see, all of us want to succeed, all of us want to be big one day, but you can't keep unrealistic deadlines. And when you're not able to fulfill, obviously unrealistic deadlines will not be fulfilled, and you stress yourself for that. That's not right, isn't it? It's not right. You keep some unrealistic goals, and when the goals don't come true, you punish yourself for that. This is again a bad attitude. And then your poor management or direction skills, or your self insecurity, all of this will bring you down. And it could also be the view that you have. For example, if you sit in a classroom, okay, and you have same, I think Joseph's would obviously have same type of windows in every classroom, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And you see out of the window, and your friend, let's say Harsh or Chirag or Nihal, they also see from the same window. Do you think they will see the same thing that you are seeing, or they will see it the way you see it?
No, ma'am.
Definitely not, right? So each person's worldview will alter their attitude. Some people might see out of the window and see the beautiful sky and say, wow, what a beautiful sky. It's a good, good day, or it's a good climate. And some of them would see to the opposite class and they're like, oh, they are caged just like us here. They're caged there. Oh, something is happening in their class and they are caged just like us. So the way you see differs, but you're seeing through the same window. So the worldview would alter the end results. People get upset and agitated by what's happening in the world, be it economy or crime rate, but it can possibly affect your personal life as well. That's why we say now, when you watch something on social media or some like news channel, you get affected over a period of time. That strongly sticks in your brain or sticks in your mind, and that will alter your way of seeing that particular. For example, let's say you saw news that so and so area is a place where there are high crime rates happening. So the next time you go to that area, though there will be a lot of other things which you could enjoy in that particular area, the one thing that comes to your mind is, oh man, this area is not really safe to travel, right? Because you have been impacted by the news or the view the other people gave on that. Next, the role of environment in forming this. Now you saw all the negative things, but how to build all of this? How to build, how to overcome all of this? The only thing that you can do is changing your attitude. That is changing your inside out. Okay. When changes happen personally, it can alter the everything around. For example, you could let's say there are menu choices for the day. Okay, menu for your everyday's life. One side of the menu says energetic, caring, and very creative, and the other side of the menu says angry, very depressed, very cynical, and very bitter. So which menu you choose, or whatever you choose from that menu, would be served to your table. Got it? We all have these choices on your life's menu card, and what you choose would be served. And how to change your attitude if you're always looking into something bad? How to change? You should learn to balance your attitude with the factors that will determine your lifestyle. For example, you're always going late to the class. For example, you're always being late in completing your deadlines. Make sure that you alter a bit of your lifestyle to balance that particular deadlines. And by changing the small things at your workplace or at your college, by accepting your unique lifestyle, by accepting your right position and being very communicative and positive towards yourself and taking up the responsibility, you can change your attitude. Next, how to change your behavior? The only thing that you could do to change your behavior is by choosing the right choices. For me, the right choice would be staying back at home during weekends with my family. But for you, the right choice would be going out with friends and having good time. But whatever choice you make should make you feel happy by the end of the day, right? So that's how you change your behavior, by responding to the right choices. And then how to change your thinking. When it comes to thinking, you should observe logically in every situation, because we humans usually get we usually get affected by emotional situations or by thinking emotionally, but it is better to always observe things in a logical and practical way. So when you do that, I told you guys were telling that, right, that some of you said that you overthink and that's a drawback. So what's happening there? You're thinking emotionally, you're not thinking practically or factually, and that's the reason you overthink and then regret for overthinking. So whenever you come across a situation where things are going wrong, make sure you think in a logical way. Sit back, stay calm, and think about that in a logical way for at least a couple of minutes, and that will help you observe your thinking. Like instead of like, oh, this thing's happened to me, instead of that, you can just think in a different way, like, what can I do to diffuse this situation? Okay, this is a very interesting problem, right? I'm going to do something about this. And you can also tell to yourself, hey, I am going to refuse this problem to stop me from doing what I am going to. And this problem will not look the same way tomorrow. It will be different because I am going to be a better version of myself. So this is how your thoughts could change and stop you from ending up in a negative result. Do you guys have any idea about how you can change your day, or how you can build your attitude apart from all of this? Do you have any other idea? Anything that you do practice every day? Any practices that you do every day which you want to suggest to the people in the session? Any practices that you're trying to build your confidence or build your positive attitude? Anybody? Guys? Guys, am I audible?
Yes.
Guys, we are almost about to end the session. So I'm telling you certain tips to create a positive attitude, or certain tips to change your thinking. Are you ready? Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. The first thing that I would suggest you to do is to manage your self-talk. This might sound little unrealistic, or it could also be a little stupid, but managing your self-talk. The moment you wake up every day, go see yourself in the mirror and say, hey, this is going to be a wonderful day. I'm going to do great things today. And the other next day, you just try, go say, this is going to be a crappy day. And I know that it's going to be bad. And I'm not going to get this certain things which I actually planned for. Okay, try both the things. And you'll observe that on the day which you started afresh with really good thought, that particular day would push you or motivate you throughout or the entire day. It will motivate you throughout the entire day. But on the other hand, when you think bad about the day and bad about yourself, even though there might be opportunities right in front of your eyes, you would try to, or your mind would try to miss out on that. Okay. So some certain tips which I would give to build positive attitude is read some positive books. If you are not a person who loves to read, then listen to some inspiring books. You get a lot of podcasts and CDs, right? So listen to some motivating podcasts when you clean the house, or when you exercise, or when you're on flight. Okay. And then waking up early will also help a lot, because when you wake up early, you will allow yourself to get a head start on the day, right? You will not rush into things. You'll allow yourself to head start your day. So that will help you for a better day, or that will prepare you for a better day. And then exercising. Exercising is something which I have practically experienced. It is a very useful thing to combat all your depression, and it will also help you to improve your mood, basically. And then planning, because what happens when you plan for a thing? For example, you when COVID hit us for the first time, we didn't have plans of what we have to do and how we have to be precautious and all that. But when it hit the second time, we were already ready for it, right? We were all like warriors. Oh, come on, COVID, we are ready. We know what to do. We are up for anything. So the second time it was much peaceful, isn't it? So when you plan for things, those the stress or the problem that might arise could be a big deal, but you're already prepared for it. So it will not take a lot of time for you to sort it. So plan ahead. For example, you have some short-term goals or long-term goals. Plan it. Planning will allow you to match your long-term goals to your weekly accomplishments when you go for your shorter accomplishments. And then accepting failure. See, all of us will have a plan, but you should understand that it will not always go according to it, right? You should accept that. You should accept yourself for not being able to fulfill it, and then being very thankful for whatever has happened to you. So when you're being very thankful about what you have or who you are and what your life is like, you become more calm, you become more peaceful with yourself. So ultimately we all will there will come a day in your life where you choose peacefulness over anything. Okay, so for that, the first thing that you have to do is be thankful and accept yourself the way you are. And you should also surround yourself with the people who thinks you are good or you're enough. So surround yourself with the positive people to be more positive. Okay, and you can also use some positive words while thinking about yourself and while talking. For example, I am able to do certain this and this, I can do this, I am being more like I can be more reliable. And allow yourself into any types of feelings that makes you feel good, like happiness. It could be your strength, it could be your success. Enjoy that moment, celebrate it every day, and try to ignore the negative people and negative thoughts, which will actually substitute with your constructive happy thoughts. And also, when you're trying to change your mindset, use words that will evoke your feelings and mental images of your happiness, most importantly. And you can also watch movies or more watch series, the any or watch any videos that makes you feel happy and minimize the time that you listen to news or read the papers where things are mostly filled with negative things running around in the world. And always sit and walk with your back straight, because when you do that now, it will help you strengthen your confidence and inner strength. Have you noticed whenever you sit now, if you like just lodge on the desk or something, it makes you feel that you're more lazy, or yourself will feel that you're not really up for the day. But when you put your chest out and when you start walking straight with your back, you feel more confidence. Or vice versa, when you're more confident, you'll walk that way, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So always sit and walk with your back straight. And before planning, visualize things clearly. Because if you visualize with more concentration and belief, you will be amazed at the results that you get. So when you visualize things, you should know that your plan is taking you there. And you can visualize things in your walk, or when you engage in some other physical activity, or when you are thinking about your future, anything. You can visualize things at any time and any day. These are the certain tips which could help you to build a positive attitude. But if you have been exhibiting a negative attitude and you are expecting failure and you're expecting difficulties, I think it's the time to change the way you think. And it's time to get rid of negative thoughts and your behavior and lead a very happy and successful life. Because if you don't start it today, then when, right? If you have tried and failed, it's still okay. It only means that you have not tried enough. You might have heard this quote, right? So just remember that when you develop a positive attitude, it will definitely lead you to happiness and success. So you choose your attitude and you can choose your life. I'm done with the session for positive attitude. Any doubts or any do you have any stories to share? Guys, any stories that you want to share?
No, ma'am.
Dharini, I'm sorry.
I said no stories, ma'am. Being positive is hard.
Okay, I mean, you just said that there are no stories, right?
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else? Nihal, Yuktesh, Chirag, Afif. Nobody? Okay. Guys, in today's session, I'll just give a small recap. In today's session, we learned about the corporate um, expectations and characteristics of a good professional. And also, we had a short glimpse on positive attitude, right? Can you please tell me if there is anything that I have to change? Like, for example, if I'm going fast, or ma'am, it would be better if you come up with practical examples, or what do you want me to change in the way of teaching? Because that would help me train you better. Because I just noticed that you were a little, what do I say? You were more energetic in the first half and you became a little low with energy in the second. So is there anything that I have to change from my end, or is it because you have been listening to lectures since morning? Like, I'll get an idea only if you tell me what it is. Is it because I was going fast, or the topic was boring, or is it because you are listening to lectures and you are listening to sessions since morning? So that's the reason you're a little tired by the end of the day. Is it because of that?
Yes, ma'am. The pace was fine.
Okay. What about others? Like, what are the things that I could include, or do you want me to keep more like, practical stories and icebreakers between the sessions to keep it at least to raise the bar of energy? Can that help?
Yes, ma'am. I think that would be better.
Okay, cool. So from tomorrow I will be training you on first impression. So maybe I'll come up with a lot of activities that could help you as well as me. And that's it. I have completed the things that I wanted to deliver for the day. Any doubts? Any doubts, or you have anything to share?
No, ma'am, no doubt.
Okay. So tomorrow I'll come up with other set of activities which could help you, and also come when you're coming to the class tomorrow. I got a message from Afif. Yeah, tomorrow is not the last day of the course. It will go up till Friday. So Friday is the last day of the course.
Mom, when is the session on interview on grooming?
Interview grooming skills and first impression will be taken tomorrow, and you'll also have a better idea about your resume writing and all that on the last day of the session, that is Friday.
Okay, thank you, mom.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I think if you do not have any doubts, you can leave, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for coping up with me.
Thank you, mom.
Thank
Bye.
you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. You guys can leave if you have no doubts. Nihal and Yuktesh. Nihal? Nihal?